Hi guys, SDJRSNF88 speaking, with a much overdue layout update. Now as you can see, I've been quite busy, or in this case very messy, with all this stuff everywhere, which hopefully means, well, I hope you agree that I've done quite a bit of work on the layout in between, you know, all the weathering I've been doing, which is the reason why there has not been a layout update for quite a while now. So anyway, we'll get started. What have I been doing? Well, the first thing, that's probably the most obvious thing, is the cliff face. Now tell me what you think of this. As you saw in the last update, which was about over a month ago now, it was paper mache and you know, a bit of half newspaper on it to about there. Well, now it's completely finished. I need to hoover it up, so whether or not how much of this stuff will come off. But what I've done is I painted it with a Humbrol acrylic paint. I forgot what number it was, but it's very, very hard to get. So I'm having to resort to another grey paint to continue, when I get round to continuing it around there. And also finishing, well, starting that section down there, which is that block of polystyrene there, which will look hopefully somewhat like this. But I used 2 pots of paint on this, and they've ran out because they're only little Humbrol ones. But as you know, I mentioned I wasn't going to do it like on Compton Martin, which looked really, really effective on Compton Martin with like the water stained one, because I would have to spray it with matte varnish, and obviously I can't do that up here because of the ventilation. So what I decided to do is just, you know, paint it on with acrylic paints, and it came out surprisingly quite well. What I did was originally, you know, as you saw from my last update, is I put polystyrene blocks down, then I built up paper, balls of paper or newspaper all over the top of it, hence all this stuff here. Then I put masking tape on it, believe it or not. Reason for this is because the exposed bits of polystyrene, the PVA glue, would not stick the paper to it. So what I did is I covered it all in masking tape, because there's plenty of masking tape lying about. You know, it gave a really, really good sticky surface, and then I glued paper over the top with PVA, a couple of layers of that to make it quite solid, and then I painted it with just the Humbrol acrylics, and it's all one colour. It was all one colour Humbrol acrylic. What gives it its tone is I actually sprinkled it with got to find the right bag now, but as you can see, there's many bags of Woodland Scenics here. It's still going to be, there it is. I sprinkled it with fine earth turf, which is the one I used to weather down the ballast on Compton Martin, and as you can see, this the little splodges like there to recreate like sort of the plant life that grows on the side of rocks. Then all the sort of like exposed surfaces, like where it's like a ledge. That's the word I was looking for, a ledge. I've put down lots of different turfs. I've decided not to use static grass. In this case, I've actually used well, like I said, turfs. I've used, I put down a mixture of 2 different types. The first being, where's it to? Sorry, I keep on trying to remember what they are. Oh, the first one's burnt grass, which is the slightly lighter one. You can see where my finger's to there, more of a brownier colour. And then the rest of it is light green. And it really, really does give this lovely, like, mixture tone, like a wild grass tone. I was actually so surprised with the results. To bring it out a bit more, I've also added some clumps of undergrowth, is what they call it, which is, where are they to? There. That sort of bush there. I've also added some of the leftover bushes, the Woodland Scenic bushes, the boxes, what they're called. They are called fine leaf foliage for the bushes, which you can see there. And also they had some part of that foliage, you get like logs and stuff, because it's supposed to be made for trees and hedges and stuff, you see. And you can see there were some leftover bits, so I created like you know, where trees have fallen and been left because it's out in the wilderness and stuff. And as you can see there, you know, started to be overgrown by the undergrowth and stuff. But yeah, I've done that all the way down to there and all that. I got to that point there where I've stopped, which I feel that's sort of a good place to stop. So if I want to run trains, like I have been, during my review of the 5MT, I was, you know, I got to that point with the paper mache and stuff before I ran it, sort of thing. I have started filming Wagon Review Week, and what you'll probably notice is that in the background when I filmed the first lot of reviews, you'll probably just see the exposed paper mache rock face, and then I think for the last 2 wagons that are part of the review and also the running video, the 2 last wagon reviews, because there's 7 in total, I still have to film 2 more, and the running video, you'll probably see this beautiful rock face in the background, while the first one's just to see the exposed paper mache. So anyway, I have to do that down that end. And I decided to do a bit more work, sort of thing. I was just going to dedicate it to the yard and the scenery and the aqueducts around this end, and also, you know, down here, because this was absolutely atrocious with all the... I had lots of large ballast on there, it didn't look like a road surface at all. But in the end, I've decided that I'm going to do this whole end behind this line, which includes ballasting the track. So what I have done is I've laid out some tester ballast. Now, I've got plenty of ballast left about from Compton Mine. As I experimented with lots of different tones. You can see here we've got medium buff ballast, which is this one here, and grey blend. A grey blend comes in a bigger bag. And I feel, as you can probably see here, that grey blend looks a lot better than the buff ballast. Reason why I have plenty of buff ballast left over is because I did use buff on Compton Martin, but the colour slightly changed. It was much darker, the first bag that I used on it. Luckily I managed to find a second bag, as you probably know from my updates on that, and I continued Compton Martin with that. But I have like 2 or 3 bags of this buff ballast that I bought, which were the wrong tone, so I got lots of that left over. But the medium ballast, I was going to originally, before I started Compton Martin, ballast part of the layout. So I have 2 bags of this. Here's 1 bag now. I did use it on my water powered cliff railway as well, but it's quite a nice colour, and especially when it's toned down a bit with the earth turf, and also with a bit of like a black wash. It should look pretty perfect, you know, to the real thing, sort of the real stuff, if you know what I mean. So I am going to use grey blend. Medium grey blend for the ballast, and as you can see, it's only roughly laid. This is all loose. This is going to be hoovered up because I don't think I'll be doing the ballasting for a while. It's just I thought I wanted to see what it would look like, sort of thing. I may do this to the whole layout in the end. I don't know, because as you know, it's taken a long time to upgrade this end of the layout, and also yeah, it's very busy for me at the moment, and also I just feel by the time that I've done this, I'll probably be moving on to another layout, sort of thing. So I'm just going to stick to this end for the moment. And if I was to do anything to the rest of the layout, I'll probably just do the ballasting on the track, because that does improve the look of the layout quite a bit. So yeah, that's got to be hoovered. Move on to those vehicles in a minute. But yeah, actually it's all rough. All the ballast is loose, and it will be hoovered up. It will hopefully look like that, where it's a lot more smooth and settled down. You'll probably see there's like bits of brown on the edge of the sleepers. That's obviously where the track has been previously ballasted in a sort of a rough way, sort of like that. Now I figured of keeping that because one, it's really hard to scrape up, and also you end up breaking the sleepers. So I think I might leave it. But it sort of does add a bit of tone, especially when the ballast is weathered down a bit. It will look a lot better, I feel. It saves time, and also it just saves the hassle of accidentally breaking a section of track in the middle of a loop, sort of thing. And you're having to rip up a couple of sections just to get one section out and put it back in and buy a new section, if you know what I mean. So it will save on hassle, that. Anyway, as I focus on those vehicles briefly, I'll explain why they're here. Now, this is my Scaledale, Scale Autos range of vehicles. Now, they came out, when did Hornby start making these Scale Autos? It was a couple of years ago now. They don't make very many more, but they basically had a deal with Oxford Diecast to make certain vehicles. And one of the first ranges they did was a circus range, and I found this vehicle. This was the first one I got. It's the articulated caravan truck, circus truck, and basically these normally retail for $12.99, but Hornby made a mess up with the RRP, and the shop that stocked it accidentally was selling them for $5.99, which is the price of the smaller trucks, like the giraffe truck and I think that's the ballast truck, what they call it, that we used to tow other trucks out of like the mud and stuff. So anyway, that was a complete accident. So I decided, I'll purchase this was at such a good price. And obviously once you get one, you got to get all the others. So I collected all of them. This is many years ago because I wanted to fill up a little scene which I'll show you in a minute. So I collected them all, and as you can see I've got the full lot, and they've been sitting happily up in this little town scene up here, which is sort of the town continuing on from the main sort of town. Well, it's a village, let's just say. This is a village scene, and it continues on from the main town, which runs along the whole side of the layout, sort of thing. As you know, I was called this Templeton Yard, sort of thing, which you saw in my running videos. But anyway, so that's what this village will probably be called. I think I was right. I can't remember now. I haven't seen that. I haven't done that running video for ages, sort of thing. So yeah, I think I called it Templeton Yard after like Temple. Like a sort of like a mictake of, not a mictake, but you know what I mean, a pun on Temple Combe, which is, you know, is the end of the Somerset and Dorset sort of thing. And it's a blend of other names sort of thing that I've named the layout, which makes it sort of S&D, as if it was a passing loop on the S&D, you know, for holiday traffic and stuff. But I'll do that in another video anyway. I'm sure I will at some point. But anyway, I'm not sure if you can remember what this area looked like, but all the houses were sort of there. Those row houses were moved a bit closer to that row houses. Also, where that little hut is too, which is going to be like a little village garage, was over there, and that cottage was over there, sort of thing. But and the tram line sort of came around the rock face and then curved up to where the bottles to, which is full of static grass, and that sort of 2D house was there. Well, 2D building. That building is actually a winding house, because believe it or not, I haven't, all the time I've been on YouTube, I haven't had it running and I haven't got it going, but I hope to in the near future, because, you know, part of the street's not done down there, you see, and there's mess all over the track. But that there, running along the whole high street, I'm not sure if you've seen it in any of my videos, is actually a tram line, and it goes all the way along the street to the church. You can probably see that little grey hut by that level crossing. That's where it ends to. And basically, it's a winch tram. And I have a Batman San Francisco cable tram. The reason why I got it's in blue livery, sort of like this Pico blue here. And the reason why I got that is because, you know, with trams you have to have overhead cables and stuff. And there's a tram in North Wales which I went on, which goes up the side of a mountain. I forgot where it's to, but it's actually a cable tram. So I thought, well, with a cable tram you don't really have to have any evidence of a cable, because you know it's a cable tram, except for one thing, a winding house, which is what that 2D building's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a steam-powered winding house, which would have wound the tram along the line and back. So that's why that's in place. But the reason for moving all this about, as I digress, is that there was no street. There was no tarmac or anything. All it was just this green, this very old sort of green mat, which is, you know, not really a static grass or anything. It's more of a powder on there. It's quite solid on there. But I thought it's looking a bit old, you know, compared to some of the nice static grass sheets and stuff. And there's just no tarmac on there, or in this case, cobbles. I've got some cobble sheets. I had some left over. Reason for this is because I was going to use these sheets to make the arches for the aqueduct. You can see I've used one there, but surprisingly, down here you can see the sheets. I need the full ones, which are like these full A4 ones. There you are, like that, to make the arches, because these are too small. But the set was 50/50. It had 4 of those, which is not enough to complete all the arches, and loads of these. So rather than wasting them, or using, painting the surface, I decided to actually cut the streets, sort of the cobble streets, and actually cobble this area, which I think has really brought the area to life. As you can see, I've glued down, hence all these bottles being up there, along there, around there, and along there, and also the bit going over to the level crossing for the tram. The tram is going to be exposed track all the way along. It is along there as well, except for this little section here where there's a little crossing. And it goes over to sort of a T-junction end, where obviously the road ends, and it's sort of like, you know, where parking for the cottages and the houses and stuff. Now what I plan to do, this is sort of that's all really all for the update. But so I'll quickly move on to what I plan to do and hope to have done by the next update. Basically, this whole area is going to be covered in a turf of some sort. That's too wild for this look, so I've got some fine green blend, which is like sort of like a lush sort of coloured grass. That will sort of brighten this area up because I think it looks a bit too dull and flat. It will also cover up the edges of the cobbles a bit and make it look a bit more sort of like realistic, if you know what I mean, going over the edge of the cobbles there. I'll glue down the bit on the level crossing and there and there. I will also hopefully get all the paving slabs out and pave a little tram stops there, a little tram stop, which is obviously the end of the line, so that will be paved over. I won't be paving on the track because I've got a funny feeling the tram has a very, very low motor. The motor is actually the bogie, you see, and I think it runs very, very low, so I'm sceptical whether it'll get over there. I think it will because there is a pico level crossing down there, but I won't be putting paving slabs on the track. I will be putting ballast in between there, and I'll be having paving slabs on each side sort of thing. I will also be using paving slabs on the around the front of the house there, and also there, and I hope to put some gardens on there. Whether I'll get that done by the next update, I honestly do not know, but I know that I'll probably have those bits done there. As for the rock face, I may have started on the rock. I may start on the rock face for the next update. I do not know, sort of thing. You know, it's a very time consuming, and as I mentioned, I'm quite busy, as I have been given another batch of weathering. I'll probably talk about videos to come in another update video of some sort when I get round to it, explaining the situation with the weathering, and also how much time I have to spend on the layout, sort of, well, what time I've been spending on the layout. But that's the main things to get done. See, so I've ripped up the yard, as you know, and I've ended up doing everything else but the yard. But that will be done. The reason for the taking so long is I've had another idea of what I could do with one of the sidings there. I have yet to find that piece of track. Let's just say there was a piece of track like that, roughly there on Compton Martin, which will really, really help with the engine shed, or one of the rows on the engine shed, which if any of you have a guess what that is, do put it in the comment section below. But yeah, the reason why there's no work on there is because I have yet to find some grey paint to do all the tarmac around the area before I could lay the track down. And also, where I was chipping away some of the track, I chipped away some of the board. You can probably see it there, so it's uneven. And it's in quite a few of the key places, like where points are to, and obviously points have got to sit level, or otherwise the connection goes. So I've got to use some filler on that. And so that's what I've got to do before I can start laying the track. But in the meantime, I'll continue work on this area. I will also continue filming Wagon Review Week, which will be hopefully up in time for my 2nd anniversary on YouTube, which I think is early April. So it's not that much of a wait. I think it's about a month wait for Wagon Review Week. So I hope it's worth the wait. But there'll be 7 wagon reviews in total over a fortnight, and then an added video on the end, which of course will be the running video. I'm still debating what loco to haul the freight rake, as surprisingly there's although there's only 7 wagons reviewed, there are a number of each certain wagon, because there's basically there's wagons the same type but in different liveries, so I thought I'd include them in the rake, if you know what I mean, to bulk up the rake a bit, because I do love my freight rakes. So anyway, sorry about me blabbering on. I'm sure I'll do probably a channel update video at some point explaining the situation on all this, rather than filling this video with that. And also, there will be another update video coming soon. But anyway, that's all for now. So this is SDJ RSNF88 speaking, and thanks for watching.